Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. It is I, Mr. Gimpy, along with Chipped Monk. We are here. We are ready to talk about games and game news, and I'm here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to trip Chip up on some shit. So this episode's going to be a little
You couldn't
wonky.
give me like the Chipmunk.
Nope, not today, man. You got to earn that shit. You got to earn it today.
No, Mr. Chipmunk, Sir Chipmunk.
Sir Chipmunk. You got to get crowned today, man.
His Majesty the Chip, dude.
His royal, whatever. It's like the royal guard or whatever they announce you.
That's right, dude.
It's good shit, dude. So what have you been up to, man? It's been like a day since we've chatted.
Hey, just been a couple days. We hung out a little bit.
Yeah.
We had some birthday shenanigans. That was all right. Need either of our birthdays, like just in general life birthdays.
Life happens.
I feel like listen. All right, we know the Brofessor listens to this, so I'm gonna talk some shit here.
Fucked up.
I feel like that was not enough food for humans, for adults. It's like good in concept, but also like, damn, bro, like, I need some sort of balance. I need like a protein, carb, and some sort of veggie. There's no veggies, dude. I need like a veggie, or there's plenty of fruit, He had like nice hors d'oeuvres, but damn, bro. You can put out like a carrot, bro. He's like, oh, it's not in season yet. We gotta still grow it. He's like, we got that shit germinating in the basement, bro. We got a whole. He's like, the onions haven't bloomed yet. I'm like, come on, bro. They're like 88 cents at the store, dude, man. You couldn't pick up a sack.
It was a child's birthday, and he picked out the course. Like, of course you're not gonna have a balanced meal. What'd you expect?
I expected a nice balance,
some fucking Brussels sprouts and spinach, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I'm trying to get like Popeye yoked out of my mind, dude. I'm trying to keep my my protein balance on point, dude.
Oh man, it was an adorable idea, dude.
It was great. No, everything was great, but then like I got home, I was still hungry, but it was too late to eat like more food. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't want to cook shit. I'm not ordering out anything, and I was like, damn, I probably should have ate more.
Should have smashed on that bacon, dude.
I know. That's what I was thinking exactly when I got home. I was like, I should just have like a fistful of bacon.
I did.
I thought about it. I was like, nah, maybe somebody else will want some more bacon. I better take it easy.
You can't be modest in social situations, dude. You just gotta fucking go for it. Otherwise, you're gonna be the one left holding the bag. The host doesn't care because the host goes, everybody ate, right?
Yeah.
They just assume you took care of yourself. You can't.
Yeah, it's all out there.
On this, man.
I think it's more of like a big boy problem, like a psychological thing, because like everyone always looks at you like, oh, you're getting more. Like everyone gives you shit if you're a big dude and like you get a second plate of anything. They're like, oh, what's going on, buddy? You're taking some home. You're wrapping that up. I'm like, God damn it, this is proportionately the same amount as you've eaten. I'm just twice your size.
Right. What's funny is people look at me that way, but after they get to know me, right? It's like don't invite me to like a gathering where you have a limited amount of food, right? So
yeah, man.
It's like my family on my dad's side, all of the males are just kind of assholes when it comes to just like an open eating situation. And my dad notoriously, like, we went to we all got kicked out of a Godfather's Pizza.
Nice. With all you can eat. Yep.
Yeah, we did the all you can eat. It was my dad, my uncle, a couple of uncles, and me. And I was 13 or 14 at the time. And we were there for probably 2 hours, and we each probably ate 2 pizzas each. You know what I mean? Just like in terms of how big it is. And my dad's like second youngest brother is a really big dude. So, and the other one was like bodybuilding. So they like are legitimately like loading up on this, right? My dad and I
load up on them carbs.
So I just rely on the metabolism, or whatever. And
it's gonna fail you, bro. You gotta start lifting weights. Keep it up, dude.
One, right. And
get that Beat Saber weights, dude.
So
do something, dude.
So this lady comes up to us. She goes, "Gentlemen, that'll be your last slice of pizza." We're like, well, we're going to go back for one more. And truthfully, we were all pretty fucking full, but we thought it was just comical that the woman asked us to stop.
Okay, I have to cut you guys off. They sent me out. Listen, nobody wants to do this.
Yeah,
You
long
got
story short, we
kicked
got
out.
kicked out of a Godfather's Pizza. I don't know any that still exist, so good riddance, I guess. But like, we were
How could
definitely
they
pushing the
keep that
envelope.
business model going in America, bro? Come on now.
It's true. It's such a U.S. problem, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I can
it's like, oh, you
probably
fat fucks are eating too much. Ah! It's like restaurants can't handle it.
I could probably crush like a large pizza. That's kind of like my upper limit of
Yeah,
pizza
yeah,
consumption.
yeah. I don't do that anymore because it's just a lot of bread,
Bro,
right? Like,
I did that shit like a couple of days ago, bro. Honestly, I
like if
don't
we're
know.
talking like the home pizzas, like the like you make one yourself, like throw in the oven, like the frozen pizzas, easily eat that whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
usually just fucking fold it. Like when it was just me, I just folded that in half, ate that, and that was my dinner, dude. Like
That's it,
good
dude.
to
You're
go.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
it's my
it's
meal
a
for the day.
calzone now, right? You ever?
It's
It's a big ass
everything all in
calzone.
once. You just
For-
folded the food pyramid it on itself, dude.
yeah, dude.
Create a food vortex into your belly, dude.
But yeah, man.
It's
Like we
that pyramid upside down is a funnel right to your stomach, bro.
for sure, for
Just put it
sure.
all on this nice slice of dough.
Yeah, dude.
Easy.
That's kind of what we did. Like the last couple days, we actually saw each other.
Yeah.
The weather's getting warmer. It was windy as balls the other day,
It's
but
crazy windy, dude. A lot of
yeah, but
fast crosswinds out there, dude. Some
for
action.
sure,
I
for
feel like
sure.
this
But
is the old fucking people talk, dude.
it is once you hit a certain
Weather.
age. But
No,
you
what
know what though?
everybody talks
I'm
about the
starving
weather.
to go outside though. Like I've been
I don't
inside
know,
for fucking
bro.
months, dude. I want to go out and do stuff.
I don't know what the fuck this says about me, but before I went to the Brofessor's house,
Yeah.
I was like, let me check the weather report instead of just looking right out the window. Like the window's right there. I just have to like open it up. I was like, oh, maybe it's raining. Let me see if it's raining from the internet instead of just like walking 3 steps to the window, dude. It was intense. And like I realized as I was doing it, I was like, I could just get up and check. Okay, like weather reports are sometimes wrong because it's a bigger general area. And I was like,
Yes.
this is fine.
Dude, yeah, that's the struggle, man. That's the struggle. I think
So
everyone being inside for so long, like I work in my basement, right? Like the window behind me just it doesn't quite cover the bottom like that curtain. That's the only sunlight I get,
that's all you need,
when I'm
dude.
working. And it's I'm fucking starved to go outside. Like the first nice day, I'm working on my fucking deck, dude. Like I am not working inside. I'm working on the deck. I'm chilling. I'm gonna grill lunch. I'm gonna grill breakfast. I'm gonna grill dinner. It's
You're
gonna be
living
just a
out
day
there.
outside, man. It's gonna be sick.
I
Um,
feel like nobody lives outside in like other cities. Like it seems like big major metropolitan areas like New
yeah,
York and LA, people are outside doing shit. I feel like everywhere else, everyone's like, "Fuck that! I'm just staying in, dude. Like I'm going A to B. That's it. I'm out doing things. I'm making it happen. You know?
right. It happens, man. The other thing, like a lot of our jobs are in front of a computer, right? We don't really like when you work in an office, you're not going outside except for commuting to and from work. And now I don't have
Yeah.
that commute anymore. I'm like fucking outside of like taking my kids to school. That's about it, dude. It's. I need to go outside, man. That's the thing.
Did you play
You
any
know.
games? Did you been inside playing any games out there?
Yeah. I've gotten back into Forza. My son is really enjoying cars right now.
Who
Just like
doesn't enjoy cars, dude?
race cars and stuff, So he likes the feeling like them going fast.
Yeah.
So he's been enjoying Forza, so I've been playing and he's been kind of watching that game. So been going through that pretty much. That's been like my casual game of choice lately. Other than that, VR still kicking it, dude. Still kicking in VR. Pistol Whip is still my go to right now. Having a lot of
All
fun with
right.
that, going through the campaign. I'm on the final boss of the Cyberpunk campaign, and
Oh,
gonna start the Western one after I'm done. But the Cyberpunk one was fun, dude. My favorite level was actually the second stage. You don't have ammo, so you have to punch everything,
oh
and
no.
everything's like shooting at you, and you have to you're moving the entire time and punching, dude. It felt so much fun. It was
Nice.
fantastic.
I
How
feel
about
like
you,
there
man?
was moments kind of like that in Super Hot. For
Yeah,
me, I just been trying to get my workflow working for Unity. That's what I've been doing the last
yeah,
couple of days. I've told everybody about my woes on here enough, but
yeah.
yeah, it's been pretty smooth. I think I got like a workflow going now. I'm not sure now that I've like figured out the workflow, I'm like not sure. Like I have no project for it. I was just like, oh, this is good to know. It's good to have like a how I'm going to do something. I think generally like what I'm going to do is like make some sort of demo or basic scene like for VR,
Yeah.
because that's all I want to do. I want to experience like some really high level like high definition like next gen 4 8K style shit that like shouldn't be exist that nobody else
Right.
is making because
Right.
like it's there's no consumer
Practical
base
use for it.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
can't sell like but like I'm like the dude with that computer. So I'm like, there's nothing like this. I need to make it because nobody else is gonna make it. And
Yeah,
like I'm not
man.
making the individual things. I'm just taking it from other people who have made it. Like I told you, like there's like a character creator,
Yep.
fours out that just dropped. I think they're in beta. There's Daz 3D, and those are all like Daz is like in the millions of polygons, like character creators in like the hundreds of thousands, but like they have a way to break it down. There's like meta human if you're using Unreal to like
Okay.
get like high definition like characters, which are made specifically for cutscenes. Like they're like, this is for a scene where nothing else is happening. But you could, in theory, put it in your game if you're a fucking insane person.
If you like the
Yeah,
shit crawling, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
for sure, for
yeah, just
sure.
been like monkeying about with that, and I got like their Alchemist Unity HDR scene working,
Yeah,
and like at a certain point, I'm like, should I just switch to Unreal because Unreal seems better suited for like high end stuff, especially like with their lumens and nanite, but none of that shit works in VR anyway, so it's the same problem. And
yeah,
then I'd also have to learn like a new engine on top of it. A lot of it's just kicking the problem down the road where it's like, do I think the real issue is like I don't actually want to make a demo scene. So I'm like putting like more and more obstacles in front of me.
yeah,
Cause
yeah.
like in theory, right now, my workflow, I have it working. And I just have to like put in a little bit of legwork to get animations over instead of using like pre-canned stuff that's already in Unity. But I don't
Okay.
want to do it. So I'm like, how can I just get this working where I don't have to do that? And so I've spent more time probably doing that than it would have taken just to, port over animations.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
you were working on a game a bit ago,
yeah.
that stealth game. How any progress in that, or have you kind of burnt out on it, or what's
I've
going on
just
with that?
moved all my energy over to this because
Okay.
like, I'm like, ooh, something shiny.
Yeah.
I thought originally my goal was to port that entire game over. And I
Yeah.
tried to do that and like it fucking imploded in on itself on my new laptop.
Okay.
Uh, so I was like,
S-
God damn. Yeah,
So
but
you might
it,
have to
it,
start from scratch. Is that the worry or the possibility?
it looks like that's almost a certainty, but I don't want to do that. So I'm like, I could just keep using my desktop for working on that shit
Okay.
when I feel like it. But uh, even that, like, I have like a concept, but no game, if that makes sense. Like I've started making like a level, but there's no real game there. Like I'm like, oh,
Yes.
it's like a puzzle esque, maybe like some sort of like Resident Evil esque type of game, where like exploring third person.
You
Uh,
haven't nailed down the full game idea, right? You have a
yeah,
bunch of little ideas, but it's not full formed yet, so it's
yeah,
kind of
it's just
hard
like a
to
bunch of
do something for
small
it. Yeah.
vignettes, and I have like the story idea that I got from the Codester. Shout
Yeah.
out to Big Poppy.
Yep.
Uh, but nah, man, it's tough. Like stuff to just like sit down and like focus on, and especially like right now where it's like only thing that I have in that is like boring stuff for me,
Yes.
which is like fine tuning layout. And like if you don't have that stuff like laid out on paper, like there's so much fumbling about. Like I've had to like spend more time like destroy. Imagine like working in a construction company where you start building a building and then like decide the rooms after like everything else is up, and so you have to like
Yeah.
demolish like things in the actual structure and be like, how can I keep making this work? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it, man. I get it. So for my project, I
Mm.
I realized something, man. I really did. It's hard for me to focus on creating a game when there's like new games that have come out that are taking all of my attention, right?
Yeah, so
like
much
like
more
I'm
stuff
I'm
to
really
do.
bad at peeling myself away from that level of fun, especially like nowadays when my fun's compartmentalized, where I'm like, this is fun now and I can play it for X amount of time. I don't want to stop this, right?
Yeah,
So I think that in the game dev cycle and the game dev release cycle, the busiest months you are ever going to have are the holiday seasons, or like what's that, Q3 Q4 ish, right?
yeah.
So So like September up till around the holiday times, and then you get like probably one or two bangers in January, February, and
They just dump
then
everything that they didn't want to compete in.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
they're like,
and
oh, this ain't going up against
and then
like
you
this
have
huge.
one big tentpole release in the summer. The summer is the dog days of gaming, and there is absolutely nothing to play. Like this summer, the only game I think that's on the horizon that's AAA is God of War Ragnarok. Um, Other than that, I can't think of anything. There's some smaller releases that look very interesting, like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game will most likely be released in the summer. There's some VR Quest exclusive games coming out in the summer, but
I
other than
never
that,
got
man,
into
like
the God of War series, bro.
the podcast is over now. I
I
can't. What?
don't, bro.
Like
Like, or you have to remember, like when that game first came out, I was still a youngster. Like the first, like I'm talking old man. Like I know a lot of you kids who are playing the newer God of War never played the old God of War because you didn't have like a PlayStation 2. You weren't working summer jobs like me out there hustling,
okay,
nose to the grindstone, making shit happen. So you have a DVD player, dude. Uh, but
that's
the
I remember
original,
that the reason Chip got a PS2 was to have a DVD player. It
yeah,
wasn't
I
to play
got
games.
no. The first thing I bought was a PlayStation 2 with Mission Impossible 3 on DVD with the one that
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
John Woo directed. Yeah,
That's Mission Impossible too. That's
is
John
it
Woo.
two or then
Mhm.
two? Two's the one I bought
Got
uh,
it.
with the motorcycles, John
Yep.
Woo,
Yep.
tomfoolery.
Yep.
That was great. Uh, yeah, man. So the original God of War. Let me take you all back now. Let me slow down. Let me slow this entire pod to a crawl. Back in the day, you used to have what was called a family TV, right? And it was like the one TV center for, like in the entire house. And
Yep.
as soon as I got to, I think it's either God of War 1 or 2, where there's like a fucking mini game. Like the mini game is where you're fucking like two chicks at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
uh Whatever that one was, part of my language. It seems like but they're the coitus 3000 maker, dude. uh
Yeah.
yeah, like that came up. I was like, oh, I can't play this in front of my family. This is weird. This
Okay.
game's yeah. Then like that like
Okay.
shot me off the whole series. And it might have been 2 is where they put that in, because I don't recall it being in 1, but it might have been like
I
it's
actually
the
think it
halfway
was in the
point.
first game. Like
I
when
think it
you
was,
became a god, you could do it whenever you
yeah.
wanted. Yeah.
It's like
Uh,
after like the halfway point, they're like, and now you're making coitus. I'm like, it was like out of left field too. There was like nothing that led to it. There was no like preamble. It's just like he's a God of War. All he does is bang and throw slanging and banging, dude. This is it. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, he was just on a boat and he met
so
some
so
wenches and
you
like that
so
was
you
that,
didn't
dude.
play the original God of War series because of
I didn't
sexual
want to.
content in the family
Yeah,
room?
because I did. Yeah, I didn't want to be making love to virtual women in front of my family. That just was weird to me. Uh,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
hey, maybe I'm the weirdo. Maybe it's me because I didn't want to be from my, younger brother and mom banging two chicks. Maybe I'm the strange dude here. You know, I don't know. I know it's not real. It's pixels and like, and like nobody said anything. I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, this doesn't seem right. Like I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
And like
So the
it wasn't very explicit either. Like back then, it was like kind of like fade to black. There was like some moaning and groaning type of situation. It was kind of like
bed moved. The bed moved.
yeah. I was gonna say it was like almost like GTA 3, where like the cars like bobbing up and down. When you picked
Bed
up a
moved. I'm pretty sure
lady,
they were topless too,
an
right?
SW. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
So
when
I just
that
never got
came.
back into it, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. I thought you were gonna talk about like gameplay stuff or whatever, and
No,
I'm
no.
like,
I
well,
thought that was a
product
great
of its
game up
time. I
until
think
that point.
and
It
then
threw
I was
me.
like, yeah, I completely left field that you're all like, oh, was the I think it was the Aphrodite sex scenes or was it like her maidens or something?
There's a lot. There
Or
was, I don't know.
the
I cut out
sirens, I
after like
think.
the first or second one.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was just like,
Okay.
ooh, this is. And I think I had it
So
rented too. So that was like from
so
shout out to Gamefly, dude. I
so
was
what
like, I'm
you
returning this disc, dude. I'm sending this disc back to the Shadow Realm, bro.
So what you missed out on was a really fun story of revenge that culminated over, you know, in the third game. But each one you saw Kratos getting angrier and angrier and getting screwed
Yeah.
over more and more by the gods, which was incredible. And the way they You don't have to play the old God of Wars to enjoy the new God of War reboot at
Did
all. Well,
you
it's a
ever? Whoa,
reboot,
whoa, whoa,
rebootable,
whoa! Time,
but
time out. Did you ever watch uh Hercules
yeah, of
with
course,
Kevin
of
Sorbo?
course, of course. Yeah,
What about
Hercules and Xena, dude. Yeah,
Zeta, dude? Yeah,
yep.
I feel like this is like a time and place because I don't know. Like, do the kids today even know what the fuck that we're talking about with that?
Okay, what are you? What's your point though?
No, I
Did
just
I
felt
watch
like it
it?
was. Yeah, yeah. I feel like Sword and Sandals like kind of was huge for a little
It
bit there.
was for a bit. Yeah,
Like you could just have a TV show with like a really strong dude like doing crazy
strong dude
feats.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, doing stronger things, fighting bad CGI. Like it was great.
yeah, man. I mean, that was a Sam Raimi, Robert Tappert done show.
It had a
Both of
trading
them.
card game, dude.
Yep, it had video games and it had an animated movie as well. So,
Yeah.
good
I
shit.
feel like they
Good
don't
shit.
get enough love, dude. That's all I'm saying. Like
They get
nobody
tons of love, dude. Like
who
they're just
from
not
when?
relevant
When's the
from
last time you've heard
from
anything
people your
about
age.
When's the last time you've heard it? Only old dudes with beards talk about
Yeah,
Hercules?
dude.
Everybody
Same
else
with
watched
Highlander,
it,
man.
but
Highlander's
nobody
awesome,
talks
but
about it. It's like a
people talk. Xena is remembered more fondly than Hercules is because Xena also lasted longer.
yeah, because then people be like, "Oh, I didn't know you're gay, dude." Like if you're talking like you like Hercules, dude, it's almost like a code word,
What?
speak easy
What?
type of situation, dude. I feel like yeah, it's I don't know. It just seems like if you're like macho dudes doing crazy feats of strength, dude, everyone just assumes you're gay.
Isn't that just watching wrestling at that point?
Yeah, dude. People people assume the same thing, dude. That's why
Okay.
nobody.
All
This is
right.
why. That's why I think the ratings are like at 6 million. But if you go out and
What are
try
you
and talk
talking
to anybody
about?
about it, like nobody, everyone's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. It's like, come on,
uh,
man. Who are these other 6 million people, bro?
all right. Chip's wilding out. Back to the games. Jesus. So, I don't remember what the fuck. Oh, God of War.
Yeah, we're
So
talking about stories of revenge and stuff, and that's basically
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah. So before
feats of
Chip went on a
Hercules.
goddamn tangent, God of War was the original series was fantastic. Although I feel that the old series, I still enjoy going back to the old games, but they definitely show their age and they're definitely a product of their time because combat systems got smoother, got more fluid, things like that. The reboot did a very good job of introducing the Greek side of it that they're trying to shy away from, and it was incredible. It's this incredible thing of like the Greek pantheon of gods coexisting with the Norse gods as well. They just occupy different places. So like there's gods all over. This series made all of the gods that you've
Ties
heard
it
about in
together.
storybooks and stuff. They've made them all be like living side by side. They just are the tops of the tops. Like Odin's the top of the Norse gods, right? And Zeus is the top of the Greek gods. They both are, end all be all of their own sects, but you can go back and forth. So I
Yeah.
think that's a great way for God of War to continue. And once we're done with the Norse setting, I'd love to like tackle some Egyptian gods. I think that'd be awesome. And
Okay.
there's other stuff too. Like he fought the Furies and stuff too, in God of War Ascension. So he's dabbled in other things, and I think like just going from each one would be pretty great. That being said,
I
God
always
of
thought
mhm,
a God of War because like again the last game I played was back in the day,
yes.
but like during that exact same time period, Marvel was doing those Marvel 2024 characters, and I was like, I wouldn't mind like seeing a 2024 take on God of War at the time because like at the time after 2 or 3, they were like, I don't know what they're gonna do with this series. Like this series is dead, and I was like, you take it to the future. It could be God of War 2024, dude. I've seen it 100
2029.
times. Yeah, 2029, and do
Yeah.
some crazy nonsense where he has like machine guns and rockets and stuff instead of chains.
It just turns into Gears
That
of
was
War.
that's awesome, dude. That's radical, bro.
I think so. God, what was my point? God damn
And
it, Chip.
every digital copy comes with a gum, right? They send you a
Oh,
piece of bubble gum.
right. So back to the point. God
You
of
get a
War
cereal card
traditionally
with a piece of
releases in the
gum on it.
summer. The game came out. It's coming out summer. Ragnarok most likely. That's the one AAA release we're getting in the summer. nothing else,
Yeah,
of
it's the
note
summer
is
lull,
coming
dude.
out. You know, the summer lull. Why is there a summer lull? Because traditionally, gaming
Everyone's
was
working on
seen.
games, bro.
Everyone's working on them, yes, and they
They
gear up
also
towards the holiday release. But in the past, with I'm talking like Atari and Nintendo times, they did not want to compete with outdoor activities because gaming
yeah,
was shunned back then,
air
and it was
conditioning
considered
hadn't been
to
invented.
air conditioning was invented.
There was no
it,
internet. it
it was
like
shunned,
this
and
is
people were like, "You
serious,
should be
dude.
outside doing things and not inside playing games all the time." And
It's
that
hot indoors.
and not only the release cycle, but also that mindset has continued on. Like there's times in the summer where it's too damn hot to go outside, man. You want to sit inside
Yeah,
and not do a damn thing.
air
So
conditioning had been invented now, so I don't want to
so
deal with
so
all
anyway,
that.
with the summer lull that we will
And the
no
invention of air
doubt
conditioning.
experience, I am focusing on working on my game during this
Yeah,
time because
it
there's nothing else to
also
distract me from working on the game
it also
outside of
felt like
outdoor activities.
during like this law period in times of yore, like it was like E3 that would carry us through, where it's like you'd get like
Excited,
like
yeah.
yeah, they'd be like, here's our big announcements where we just had like the state of the metaverse, and like there's a bunch of lackluster polls there. There was the game engines, we had Unreal talk about what's coming. Unity dropped like their 2021 long-term support. We did Lumberyard also with like another big drop. Like so the game engines are saying shit. Like we had like the games developer conference, like the GDC, and like
Yep,
the big thing there was VR talk for PlayStation 5.
yep,
So like instead of like E3 where like we actually get game announcements, we got like developments in the space to provide like next gen games for Xbox XS and PlayStation 5 and VR, PSVR. It's I don't know, and that's important stuff, but it's not sexy, dude. It's not something you can't play like the thought of a game that's maybe coming out eventually. And like a lot of those demos and stuff, like I don't know, I made builds of some of the stuff and sent like you and the Brofessor links to it, but like even like that stuff, it's like it's okay. It's not even that impressive. Where you're like, okay, yeah, like this is like it's like technical stuff that you and I might care about. Where you're like, oh, this is like a 20% better frame rate than before, and it
yeah.
looks, like a modern game. It doesn't look next gen, like VR. It looks modern. Like that's like the bar. It's like, how can we make this look like it came out on PlayStation 4? Not even 5. Just give me like the bare minimum. So there's just been like a lot of behind the scenes work of stuff that's going on, especially like this year, and like it felt like there should be more, just because like everyone pushed off games because of what was going on with the global bastard out there shutting everything down.
Right.
So it felt like everyone was like, "Oh, it's not going to be this year. We're pushing it back a year." So we're seeing that with movies, where like there's like a bunch of movies that are like being released now that like got pushed back, uh, and it's so many that like I forgot about them, like. But it doesn't
The
feel that
Top
way for
Gun coming
video.
out real
Yeah,
soon, and yeah.
doesn't feel that for video games though, where like people are like, oh yeah, we're just dropping a bunch of titles here, like because we didn't have a chance to. So I don't know what they've been doing, really. That's all I'm
So
saying. I
so
think they've been
games are
sitting on their
different.
ass, not
Games are
doing
different than
shit.
movies though, because the movie industry relies on you going to the movie theater to watch it.
Yeah,
So when no one could go anywhere, movies suffered. Video games, they rely on you being home to play them. So when you were stuck at home, guess which industry just fucking thrived? So that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
they've been
I
coming out with
think
the trickle.
yeah,
You
yeah.
do any of that big screen VR mode?
No, no, I haven't. I
No,
haven't. I
you
don't
haven't.
think I
Have you
like
done any
movie
3D
experience.
movies?
No, I don't think. Well,
They got Ninja Turtles, bro. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles.
I'm never watching that movie ever again. The once
Dude,
was
like
enough,
it's
dude.
right now, dude. Like you can get it.
Once was enough.
What was it called? Like Voodoo instead of like it used to be
Yeah.
Fandango, and now it's like
Hmm.
Voodoo.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
like that's like the only game in town if you want to get like legit. Not net hashtag not sponsored, but like it seems like they're the only ones like if you want 3D movies, and like I refuse to get them because like I'm like you went out of business as Fandango. I'm not going to trust my digital library to you now.
There's like there's nothing to really want like I got VR to move around and experience shit like in life. Like big screen in VR, dude. I can just sit there and watch a movie on my TV. Like that's the one thing where I just don't. I get why it exists,
I
and it's
use it,
cool that you
man.
use it. Yeah, it's cool that you use it. It's just not for
I
me.
watch Star
It's just
Trek,
not for
dude.
me. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, next gen.
Yeah, dude. I've watched Star
I
Trek
watched some
Next
Rick
Gen on
and
a big screen
Morty.
most of my life. It's fine. It's
Eh,
I don't have anything stopping me from doing that. So that is what it is.
It's
But saying
weird,
that,
dude. Like I would rather use my headset, and I have like a 120-inch projector screen. I have a projector. I have like a
mhm.
60 or 70-inch TV. I don't remember. Maybe it's a 50-inch TV. It's a huge TV that I could be watching all these
Dude,
experiences on.
those are huge gaps in sizes.
Whatever, bro. Like nobody's counting. It's the motion in the ocean. I can move the TV closer. It's on wheels, and it's all about perspective. All right, it's not
True,
about the 20
true.
different inch difference in it.
So that's all your dates, huh?
Dude.
It's
So
about
I just
perspective,
go
baby
scoot the
girl.
couch. Yeah, but like we just scoot the couch closer to the TV. Don't worry about it. Uh, but like I don't really use that for watching any of my media, dude. Like I'd rather watch shows on my computer. So
Okay, okay,
or VR. So I don't know
okay.
what that says about me. Like I don't want to go to the other physical room. I think it's because my couches suck, dude.
Okay, okay, it's absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely insane. But yeah, man, with the summer lull, I plan on working on my game more, just because, I find that it's if it's not a multiplayer game or like a single player game, I'm catching up on from the holiday releases. There's nothing to occupy the dog days of summer, the late summer nights where there's absolutely nothing going on. I could just use those to work on the game, man. So that's the plan. I still got my game design doc up. I still got the engine ready to go. It just has
They've
just
been
design and
still
programming.
drawn more levels and stuff, dude.
I haven't drawn a level in a month. To be honest,
Is
I
it finished though? Do you have like everything laid out?
the draw for the drawing.
Yeah, you
Or
got everything
oh,
like
for the
laid out on
overworld, yeah, I
paper.
do. I
Yeah,
do. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
Well, that's
that
huge,
starts.
man.
I know what
This
it
is
is.
just like the finer details, man. It's just about the
Yeah,
finesse at this point.
yeah. And I think this pod is kind of one of those things where we talk about it, and I like having it as a history thing for myself. It's like, okay, I started this game here I got distracted, here I got stuck on something, here I'm working on it pretty hard. I'm seeing active development and progress here. It goes in cycles. People wonder why taking a game or making a game takes so long. There are so many other factors in any hobby, and creating games combines so many different mediums into one thing, where of course it's going to take some time. Very few
Yeah,
people are going to be ace programmers, ace artists, ace UI designers, to make something that doesn't look like a pile of crap or play like a pile of crap in under 30 days. I always
yeah,
see people like bragging on smaller developers going, why the fuck wouldn't you fix this, this is broken. I'm sure a lot of the times, like especially when it's like these small teams, I'm sure they know shit's broken. They're
yeah,
working on it, just there's other shit in the way.
yeah. Was it you that I was telling where well, I started the podcast talking about like workflow? Uh was it
Yes.
you I told like I spent a whole like 16-hour workday like and like the first scene I made and the last scene I made were basically identical, but I had spent like literally like a solid 8 hours working on it nonstop, like trying to get like a nice solid workflow to go through.
Hmm.
And then like the last day I was kind of like on and off, like working on it. But like if you just see like a screenshot from the start and then at the end you'd be like, nothing's changed. You haven't done shit all day. And it's like, no, I spent like a whole like 12 to 16 hours just nonstop trying to fix these problems. But it doesn't like equate to like anything flashy or sexy at the end of it. Like where you're like, yeah, it's like a smoother pipeline now where I can like import things and I
Yeah.
know how to like rig a character where it doesn't look
Yeah.
crazy.
Right, and that's the problem with designing games. If you are a results oriented, or if you're results motivated, so it's like what you did was improve your pipeline. Can't There's no, like, you can't look at it and go, that's a good ass pipeline. It's a you're working through it kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's an
um
accumulative thing like over
right, but
time where
like
it's like,
bakers, they bake a pie, they got a pie to show for it. They
yeah.
got it's like
But
that's
the next time if they have a recipe to fall back on, they're gonna make an expert pie every time.
Right,
Whereas
right.
like the first time they might stumble onto a nice pie, but you'd be like, "How'd you get that pie?" And like, I don't know, bro. I just threw some shit
Threw
together.
some
Hope
shit,
to
threw some shit in the pan and let it go.
hit it in the oven. I just hit the dial at a random temperature, and it came out great. Uh,
Exactly,
yeah, man.
exactly. So this is the part that people don't talk about. That's not flashy, right? Even I feel like programming's flashy. They're like, I made this. Do some
Yeah.
programming. You're creating logic out of nothing. You know,
Like even most
this is
programmers you talk to though, they say starting off, like you get that flashy stuff, but then after that, like it's refactoring and making it modular so they can like use that same code like in future projects. And like that's not sexy, that's not like there's no accumulative end product that comes from that. But like if you can like take out a piece of like a chunk of code and make it be like, all right, what can I reuse from this? What can I make modular? What can I use uh in future programs? Like you can spend easily 10 to 20 times as much as just like writing out like a nice piece of code to make it like have legs and longevity for future projects and like just workman like and like nobody talks about that part where they talk about like the end, like they're like, yeah dude, he just like sat down and like whittled out some code in like a couple hours and like it worked, and it's like it worked for that thing, but like if you want to make more than one game eventually, like you're gonna have to do the unsexy thing of sit down and like figure out like refactor, shorten the code, make it like more streamlined, make it modular, make it work for anything else you want in the future. And that's not sexy. That doesn't make the headlines. Like I don't know.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah. No,
yeah, but like nobody
you're right
talks about
with
that part.
you're right with that, because if you look at so from Quake 1, there is a very specific way it incorporates light into a scene. That same code has existed through Quake 2, Quake 3, all of the offshoot engines as well, including Gold Source, like the Source engine, Source 2, all use this exact same lighting. And the reason why is because, as I've said many a time before on this pod before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
And it's not broke, they haven't fixed it, and they've been doing the same thing for over 20 years. And it's interesting, those of us who know of it, you can see it in the game and it still looks good. It's in Half-Life Alyx, that same lighting they've
yeah,
been
man.
using. It's there, and it still looks good. And why? Because someone took the time to do the unpretty work, and now people can make shit. It makes everything else faster. You don't have to redo this.
Yeah,
I always am a big proponent of not reinventing the wheel. People, I'm not gonna get into an argument about going, hey, my wheel rolls better than yours. No one gives a shit. They both roll. Just fucking
yeah,
on to the next
yeah.
thing. So I
Especially
think
like
that's the
on
big thing,
modern
man.
hardware too. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this stuff, like it's a boon and a bane at the same time because like you can get through a lot of slosh, a lot of garbage, just because modern hardware is like so strong, so fast, so powerful.
Yes.
But at the same time, like it leads to a lot of people not using best practices overall. Where like, and that's like you said, like it's okay. Like at the end of the day, like the wheels still's rolling. Me as like an old man who like grew up like making 3D models where like 3,000 polygons was a lot. I look at like some of these models where I'm like, how are you using 1,000,000? This is ridiculous. Like you should be arrested. Somebody call the police.
Right.
Like
Right.
I don't know,
Uh,
man.
yeah, dude. So
You said
I
you had
think
some questions for me at the beginning of this.
I do. I do.
How
I
you want
do.
to get into
So
any of
so we'll
this?
we'll
Like,
we'll, we'll get into this. We'll get into this. So Chip, I don't know if it comes off on this pod very much, but Chip has some wild ass opinions
nah.
on everything,
I would say
including things
well-informed
he knows
opinions.
very little about.
I
His
know a lot, dude.
information is only cursory, and I just wanted to throw
I
out some
took
stuff
the
at him.
jack of all trades, master of none, but better than some. Is that
Okay.
the
Yeah. Let's go with that. So
sure?
let's hit Chip with a couple of topics to end this pod here. First
Ancient
one, Chip.
aliens.
First one, Chip. I want to talk about NFT games.
All
What do you
right.
think about them? Do you think that they're the future? Do you like or do you hate them? Go.
It seems like a solution looking for a problem type of situation. I think NFT games are a good thing for people creating games, not a great thing for distributors. Like the problem is like there's no platforms that want to support it. I remember listening to an interview with Gabe Newell, the guy who runs Steam, and he said like as much as 50% of his transactions when he tried to take some sort of cryptocurrency were fraudulent. There doesn't seem to be any governing body that errs on the side either way. So what happens is like the account just gets frozen. And I remember listening to some crypto bros, and they're like somebody stole about like
Cursory
20
knowledge,
million.
ladies and gentlemen. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
cursory knowledge. I think it was like hundreds of, it was a lot of money. I don't know if it was like 20, 80, 100 million. Somebody like stole that money through like a fake transaction. And what happened was they just froze the money in an account. And one of the crypto bros was like, yeah, you can't use the money. I don't see what the point of like doing that was. And the other one was like, he can just take out a loan against that money because like banks don't understand this yet. And he's like, yeah, but he won't be able to get the coins out. And he's like, yeah, but he'd have real money. And like the other guy wasn't getting that. Like you could like take out a loan against money. So NFT games are good for everybody eventually. But the problem right now is like no platform wants to support it. And again, it's like a solution looking for a problem. I think there is a serious issue with digital consumer rights moving forward that we just haven't had to address because enough people, apologies, haven't died yet.
Okay.
Because like there becomes like a question, right? When I pass away, like who gets my hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of digital games I've bought over the course of my lifetime?
They just sit there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the publisher, Steam or, Microsoft or whoever, be like, no, those are just gone. Like nobody owns it now. And I don't necessarily like that. I like to be able to bequeath my game collection, like Ready Player One style.
14 copies of Driving Simulator.
For sure. Into my 14 copies of Driving Sim, I leave to Big Poppy TV.
Right. All right. Let me get this next.
So that's my hot take. I think solution looking for a problem, but it's a problem that we're all going to have to address when more people pass away, unfortunately.
All right. Call of Duty being owned and operated by Microsoft now.
My hot take on that.
Yep.
It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It just seems like Call of Duty was already kind of moving more towards a game as service, especially if you look at like what they're doing over in the China, in the Korea, where they're like, you get access to all Call of Duties and you just pay a service. And it seems like that's exactly in brand with what Microsoft wants to do. I don't see them necessarily making better or more Call of Duty single player campaigns moving forward, which is kind of sad. So you're going to just see more of like what they have, like almost like Master Chief Collection, where Master Chief Collection is like, oh, we're remaking all the old maps. Remember these? And everyone was like, yeah, it's basically right, but not really. Like it's weird, right? Like it's like a weird digital bastardization of like the things you remember, but so, and they would make the claim that it's for the better, but I feel like most people who played through they're just like, it's not better, dude. It's like is objectively worse. Like if you look at like the numbers and metrics on how weapons and movement work, but that's Microsoft's MO at this point, right? The modus apparatus is they want to make games as a service, and this kind of falls back in line with that. Call of Duty is now going to be a subscription, and you're going to get the new, DLC every 8 months, dude. That's it. I'm sorry, no more single player. The metrics. This is the same problem with Netflix, where everyone's like, Netflix cancels every great original series they do. And it's because they have metrics where nobody watches past season 3. So they're like, we're only giving people 3 seasons. So that's it, man. It's going to be more metrics games, more metrics that drive game development rather than good games being put forward as first priority. So, and that's all you can do from a top-down perspective. So,
okay. Yeah, let me ask you this. We're gonna go deeper into things that separate gamers and game devs.
All right.
I'm gonna say this.
And also, so far I feel like I'm taking the very middle of the road approach here. There's
you are. You became more of yourself with that subscription take. So
that's just the reality of it.
Let's go in a little bit more.
Let's go deeper, a layer deeper.
Let's do this. Nintendo. Nintendo does not need to focus on graphics. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I still feel like my bold prediction, from like months ago was they're making a car. Like if you
Yeah.
look at like the people they put in place now, like all the creatives have been moved out of the company or like shuffled down. If you look at like all the Nintendo leaks that are coming out with like original source code from uh, Nintendo NES to N64 era, it seems like some of the old people see the writing on the wall and they're like trying to preserve a lot of their creation. Uh, it definitely feels like they've moved to more of a business model of like by any means necessary, how can we get like more blood out of a stone type of situation.
Okay.
Instead of putting games first, they're putting product first. And that's always been a dark path for Nintendo. They've always done like their worst numbers.
Okay.
But like unfortunately, all the creatives have passed on and or have moved on to bigger or better things. And some of them are still like they're stuck in the woodwork trying to make good stuff, but
Okay.
it
Okay.
to them it's just widgets. And like you could see this back when they made the acquisition of Puzzle Dragon, the creators of that. They spent like I think $2 billion buying up like a mobile platform where they're like, and that's where you got Pokemon Go from. It was like from that acquisition, and they're like, "Yo, we can make some real money from this." And it was crazy because like 2 years before that, everyone was counting Nintendo out. They're like, "Oh, Nintendo, they're gonna lose money. They have the Wii
Right.
U. They're
Right.
failing on every level." And I was like, "Yo, they own a huge library of IPs. If they just licensed out that stuff for like $1 to $5, like they would be printing money till the end of time." And
Yeah. Yeah.
you put a business guy in charge, he's gonna think the same thing, and
Okay.
they're gonna be
Okay.
making cars.
All right. All right. All right. Interesting. Interesting. So now let's jump in
They're
a
gonna be
little
making
deeper.
Yoshi. They're
We're
gonna be
jumping in
making
a
real
little deeper
life
now, man.
Mario Karts.
Jumping in a little deeper. A little deeper. If you had to say which popular Nintendo IP sucks ass, and you have to back up your theory, what would it be?
Oh man. Sheesh. You really put me on the spot.
Yep.
I mean, you could go like all the. All right, yeah. Like, what about like? I haven't played too much of the modern stuff. I would
Okay.
say like everything from like the Wii. Like, I think the only thing I played from that is Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that was the only thing that I was interested in. So you could say that they've moved more towards like 4-player multiplayer friendly stuff. I don't think that belongs in a Mario game.
Okay.
I'm used to like a single platform. I think just the cameras, nothing works out quite right.
Wait, wait, wait. So
Uh,
what IP? What IP sucks ass?
didn't they try it with like several Mario games
To
of
have party games?
no,
Or
like regular like proper Mario where you're like side scrolling Mario adventures,
tried what?
like having 4 players at the same time.
Yeah,
With
yeah. The new Super Mario Bros. Games do
yeah,
that.
yeah, I think that's a bad move on Nintendo's part. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa! Those just
Yeah,
like the most beloved things. What?
yeah, yeah.
What?
I think most people who play Mario don't want to have that experience. Like, it's fine for you because you're a dad who has like kids to play with. I think most other people, like, unless they really open
Solid
up like
Mario
their
platformers.
yeah, dude. Multiplayer platformers never a great idea, especially like if there's like moving gimmicks, things that get destroyed. It's
I
just a
will be,
bad fundamental game design
I will
decision.
be honest here. I did not think when I said which Nintendo IP would you say suck ass. I did not expect you to say Mario.
The new Mario with 4 players, it's just so hard to do right, especially like any platformer with like multiple people. I think you're laughing too hard, but you did hear me like anytime you have like a sliding thing or like people dying
Mhm.
at like the like who can fall to their death or like the
Yeah.
whole screen has to move. I think things have gotten slightly better like with split screen and like you can kind of work around it, but like it doesn't feel great unless you have like a big TV. Like nobody wants to do that shit. Unless you're a
Disagree.
parent, like helping your kids out, like,
Disagree.
when's the last time you had the buddies and you're like, hey boys, let's all play Mario Bros? Nobody, not nobody ever, bro.
I played through Mario 3D World 4-player co-op for the stream when that game first came out.
Did you do it with the
Hmm.
who'd you do it with online? Is it
Yeah, online. Online.
how was that?
It was fantastic.
Yeah. I
Sure
don't believe
was.
you. Who did
All
you ask
right,
the
all
other
right,
people you're playing with?
all right. Let me ask you this. Okay,
Yeah,
this will
let's
be the
go.
last question for you because I'm
I
guessing I'm
just let
guessing I'll
that
have a
like sit
spicy
there like a
answer.
stinky fart in the room, bro.
Okay, so I'll have a good answer. If Okay,
It's
what
just
is the
another
best? No,
solution
no, no.
looking for a
What's the
problem.
best? What is the best Final Fantasy? Okay, okay. Here we go. Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, 9. One you have to say should never have existed. What game would that be?
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
It's gotta be 9, right?
Really?
Yeah, no,
9 was considered the return to form for that series. So why should it have never existed?
it just felt it almost is like a mobile game, dude. Like if you go back and play that, like it's very streamlined, very like they're like here's because they were pushing like what was possible
Deeper
on
drop
the
system. You're just like that's mobile. Okay,
yeah, it
okay.
was it was a
All right.
mobile RPG game, bro. Like if you go and play a mobile RPG game, you play Final Fantasy 9, you'd be like, oh damn, this is the same shit. Uh, yeah, it just felt like they were pushing what was possible on the hardware at the time, and they forgot about gameplay and storytelling. They're just like, this is what you get. I don't know. We're going to recycle a bunch of ideas because they 7 hit and they were kind of banking a lot on it. But then 8 took those ideas and kind of expanded upon it as far as like gameplay and storytelling goes. And then 9, they're just like, let's just try something completely different. And it was not good, dude. Like it was maybe a return to form. Maybe it was like learning what was possible. It was also at the tail end of PlayStation 2, wasn't it? Like was
Final Fantasy that was PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1? Yeah, it was at the
Yep. And
tail end
6
of
had a port for PS1, but that's why I included it, but yeah.
yeah, it was the
It's more
tail
of
end
an
of what was
SNES title.
possible at PS1, I want to say.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
were really it was almost like the Dragon Lagoon. Remember Dragon Lagoon?
Lagoon. No,
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon or
No,
sorry,
dude.
Legend of Dragoon?
Yeah, Legend of Dragoon, where it was
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
Sony first
Yeah.
party game
Yep.
that also
Yep.
came out like at the tail end of PS1. I would say that game's way better. Go play that.
The 9. Okay. All right.
Yeah, the
Now
9.
last
If you
last
had like a
question.
only 40 hours to live and like a choice between the two like PlayStation 1 like titles head to head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
that
last question. Most overrated video game franchise.
overrated.
Yep.
Man. I don't like what about like Done to Death? Because like just like off because you just brought up Final Fantasy, I'm like, damn, there's been way too many Final Fantasy games. And like Square Enix has been afraid to like break away from that mold for so long. Like I feel like they're holding back better RPGs that they could be making.
Okay.
You see that
Going
with
with the
like
Final Fantasy universe.
like
Okay.
Octo Traveler or like anything else that like that studio like our tertiary studios do. Like yeah, Final Fantasy can die, dude. Fuck them. Like
All right.
yeah, nobody wants a Final Fantasy VII remake, dude. Nobody. Like it's good, it's nice to have, but like it's not something like if you had a choice between Final Fantasy VII and like a different new like RPG story that they could tell with that same budget, and I have to assume the budget's around like 200, $300 million per episode. So right now they're almost like $1 billion deep. If you could go to Square Enix with $1 billion and be like, yo, do we want to put this on a new Final Fantasy? Or like come up with like 10 new creative ideas that you spend like $100 million on each. You want the 10 new creative ideas every fucking time. Like fuck Final Fantasy 7. It's killing ingenuity. Like look at like Dirge of Cerberus. Like look at like all the spin-off bullshit. Look at the mobile games that have come out Square Enix with the Final Fantasy franchise. Fuck them, dude. That shit is garbage. The people who are playing that are like people who never played it originally. They're fake fans. They don't give a fuck about. They're either like deep fans who are like the same people that are crying at like the Star Wars reveals where they show like a new Star Wars. They're like, oh my god, new Star Wars. Like, bitch, get out of here with that. You weren't born in like the 70s when the Star Wars originally released. You're like on some fake nostalgia shit. And like it can mean a lot to you. And I'm not gonna, I'm not taking that away from anybody. Like these games mean a lot to a lot of different people for many. I remember watching people try and play Animal Crossing and like it was like a guy on YouTube, and he was like, I don't see why people are into Animal Crossing. And then like all the comments were like, this was the only, like basically they're like, I was in an abusive household and Animal Crossing was my only salvation. Like I was like, damn, these are some dark stories about Animal Crossing. Like, well, like, it was like fake friends to escape like a bad reality, which I get, I guess. Like if you do like animal friends, and Final Fantasies like that for like a generation of people. But
All
damn,
right.
dude,
All
like
right. All right. Final Fantasy.
keep,
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
All
fuck
right.
Final Fantasy, dude. Final
All
Fantasy's
right.
trash.
All right.
I
Well,
don't. I can't think of any other. Can you tell me another series that has, what are they at, like 50 entries, unofficially, officially, MMORPG, dude? What else is
yeah.
done to death like that, dude? Nothing. Nobody else is out there doing that deep.
That's true. That's true.
They hit gold once and they're like, fuck it, keep digging, boys. We're gonna keep digging up, especially like right at 7. I would say like that's when they hit like the movie, like the spirits within that movie was fucking trash. The other Final Fantasy movie was trash, dude. Like the
Advent
anime, they've
Children.
had several anime spin-offs, dude. Those are all
Okay.
fucking garbage.
All
Nobody
right.
can
All
watch.
right.
Those are all just marketing
Let me
propaganda.
step in here. Let me step in here. Jesus, Jesus, that's a lot of heat on Final Fantasy.
Dude, like, come on. What else? What
Oh
else is,
man.
name one other series done to death, dude. I'll wait.
Grand Theft Auto.
There's only like what, 5 games? Are you
They
counting Red Dead Redemption and Bully?
they don't. They stopped innovating with 5. I'm sick of 5 because
Yeah.
Rockstar has. They go. We made one single player content. And they just milk the multiplayer for all it is.
It's also when
I'm
they
excited
went
for
corporate,
GTA
dude.
6 for one sole reason, and that's for a new single player campaign. I don't give
Yes.
3 fucks about the multiplayer. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
So that's
and
for me.
5 came out years ago now, right? It's almost like 10, 12 years. Like,
Yep.
the game's
So
old as shit.
that's it for me. That's it for me. But yeah, let me just end here because
They-
Jesus,
I don't know. They definitely went public around that time, and they are beholden to shareholders. So every time they're like, "How can we justify giving you more money?" And they're like, "Oh, look at the online numbers. Look at like how much we're making from, GTA bucks." And like, I don't know, it's shit. Yeah, I agree. Like, I wouldn't say it's done to death, but I would say it's not helping innovate like new and better games, especially from Rockstar, like a studio that's proven that they can spin gold. They can spin gold out of anything, dude.
Yep. But I think
Like,
GTA, the GTA multiplayer hype, is holding them back as a studio. But we'll get into that some other time.
Shareholders,
Jesus,
dude. Same with Square Enix, dude.
Final Fantasy slander just
same with Konami. Same with like all these major corporations. This is the shareholders holding them back.
So,
how can you make money for me today?
So this has been the Combo Wombo. Just before I sign off with Chip, just Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced. So yeah, there's another final Square Enix property.
If I had to go with like evil company, I know everyone puts up EA first. I would say like Tencent is probably way worse for everybody.
Definitely. That's the Shadow Cabal, dude.
Yeah, dude. Nobody talks shit about them, but fuck them.
Sure.
Fuck them too.
Guys. On that note, this has been the Combo Wombo podcast. I am Mr. Gimpy. That's
Chip
a very
Monk.
heated Chipped Monk, and we are out of here, guys. Take care.
My blood pressure. Peace.